Welcome to the Dreamer to Achiever series. It is our pleasure to welcome Chipo Faith Zireva. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Marufu, for having me.
She's the founder to Mambakwedza Trust, an organization that focuses on positive mindset and skill set development. And she has had, and they've had a lot of impact within the Middle East region. And it is my pleasure to welcome you.
Thank you once again.
Yeah. With that, what's the motivation? Why did you decide to start this powerful initiative in Midlands?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mambakwedza Trust.
Okay, so Mambakwedza is a Shona word for the time just before dawn. So Mambakwedza is that time where it's dark, but the day is about to begin.
Okay.
Right. So in lives to our participants, to ourselves as an organization, we're saying it's darkest before dawn.
Okay.
But it's a sure thing, the sun will come out. So it's like a term that we're using to reaffirm to those we're dealing with that even if you're in a dark space, the sun will always come out.
Oh, yes.
And you always need to be prepared and be there when the sun comes out. So that's why we're saying it's Mambakwedza. Hashtag kunoyenza chit.
Oh, yes.
There is a hope at the end of the tunnel. So it's us giving hope to those that have lost hope.
And who is the target group?
The target group is the marginalized people in our societies, aged from 18 to 45.
Okay.
Mainly focusing on the orphans, the widows, and those living with disabilities.
Okay. Okay. Perhaps at this juncture, there's reason to now say, why connect with you, right?
Okay.
The way we, from our side,
Okay.
we are a Life Coach Services organization, and there could be a very powerful relationship that we can build, right?
Okay.
Life coaching, yes, Mambakwedza, these guys are coming from different backgrounds, right?
Okay.
And our role is to say, when you at a certain stage of what you do,
Okay.
then we pick it up to say, where do they or where do these individuals want to go?
Okay.
Then pick it up from there,
Yes.
from a coaching perspective.
Exactly.
Right. Now with that, how do you view the perceptions, or are there any perceptions as far as the public is concerned concerning your organizations and what we do, what you are currently doing?
Oh, okay. For a fact, dealing with the marginalized group of people, society tends to think that there's an issue of abuse of funds, abuse of one that is a victim.
Okay.
For example, you're dealing with orphans. They don't have a fatherly or motherly figure to represent them.
Okay.
And there you are going saying, we want to help this group of people. So society might think, okay, what's in it for you? You want to use these children to maybe access funds, or you want to use the children to make your organization look good, or you're taking advantage of the widow because she doesn't have a strong figure in her life.
Okay.
But once people get to interact with us, they then realize that surely we are what we're saying we are. We're not just a facade, but we're there to produce results and make positive, lasting impact to whoever we come across.
Oh, interesting. And how do you then identify these guys?
Our main focus for now are children and children's homes. And then society, with a WhatsApp group on our social media platforms. We have people that come through, okay, they tell us there's a certain group in our community or there's a certain individual that needs help. Can you assist them?
Okay.
And then we link them up, or we try to help them in terms of skill set provision.
Okay.
Yes, that's how we identify them.
Oh, yes. And then somewhere in the line you mentioned you focus on mindset and skills development.
Yes.
Can you share a little more, shed more light on what you mean by that?
Okay. Why do we focus on positive mindset programming?
Okay.
The issue is if you're going to be introducing change to an individual, if you don't help them see themselves differently or see their problems as opportunities, you can never help that person. Because even if you take them to the next stage, they'll always go back to their original state. So the first focus is in helping an individual see themselves differently, not as who they are, but as who they are possibly to be, irregardless of their circumstances, to positively look at situations. Instead of looking at 500 meals out of 1,000 meals as half empty, look at it as half full. That type of a mindset. So it then helps our individuals, our consumers, to be able to tackle and look at opportunities and take them head on. So when you're giving them an opportunity to say, okay, there's an opportunity for you to use your hands, why don't you sell tomatoes, why don't you get into vendoring, they won't look at it as a diss, but they'll rather look at it as, oh wow, a business opportunity for making money. I can start off with 3 tomatoes, but I can end up being a supplier of Pick and Pay. And then now when we then go to skill set programming, once you've changed the way you see things, you now need to get a skill to activate what you have learned. So originally you were from A to B, so now you're being moved from A to Z. So you need the strength and the equipment to go from the next level. So if it's like running a race, if you're going to be running the mountains, you can't use on heels. You need to change it to a nice tennis shoe and you get on. So that's what it's all about. Change, make an impact, move on.
And do you have some case studies, especially when you look at what you have since been doing, some case studies in Midlands in particular?
Yes, I remember the month of March and Women's Month, we had a computer literacy program. It was free. It was in conjunction with the Gray Memorial Library. And we were teaching women that had never had an opportunity to do computers from basic to advanced computer literacy. So we would have 2 classes every week. So I'll tell you from that class, when we started, we had full capacity. 30-30. A class of 30-30 where every woman had their own computer. But at the end of the session, we had half class, half class. Why? You had women, because eventually there were desktops. But then we were rotating desktops and using laptops. So the women started realizing that, okay, we're no longer using desktops, we're now moving to laptops. They just became skeptical. That's when it dawned on us that we need to first do mindset programming before we try to bring change to people. It's too much all at once. It can just choke you. So it's a process.
It's a process.
It's a process. And even some of the participants that we've worked with, we've had organizations that gave internship programs to certain women. And I remember we worked with Milani where they were teaching women on how to do what you call the beauty and therapy. And one of the participants would always complain of how the other ladies looked at her. And I'm thinking, this has nothing to do with you. Everyone's there to learn. You thought, no, the ladies don't like me. They're always looking at my one outfit. I'm like, you're there to learn. How others think of you doesn't really matter. But then realized and gave us reality check that no, you can't bring change without changing how a person views
the mindset.
The mindset. So the mindset. So it's even on our social media platforms, we strongly, constantly reaffirm the issue of mindsets.
And how has been the response so far?
The response has been great. It's been great. But with these, there's also need for interaction. I think going forth, we're going to be seeing more of interactive perspectives, because when you're on social media, a text might be wrongly misread, and what you're trying to say not interpreted correctly. So we discovered that we need to put ourselves more out there, move away from just the social media, but to physical contact where people can see us and relate to us.
Yes. Do you have any fees to that? To what your services that
No. For now, it's free. It's free. To fund our activities, we hold events where they're paid events, and all the proceeds get to feed the organ,
the organization.
Yes.
Okay. That's an interesting one. And I wish more could be picking a leaf from what you are doing.
Yes, I think, we'll get there.
Yes. For our coaching services, of course, what we do is there's a fee to it.
Okay.
But then we have an organization, Save the Family Trust, which is an umbrella to the whole thing.
Okay.
This has now become a project that will keep and assist to finance, to fund Save the Family.
Oh yes, that's true.
So from that, it looks we share quite something out of it. Now, how do you control the output by the end of the day? Yes, they come for your services, right?
Yes.
And how do you manage to the end when they finally complete your sessions?
Okay.
Perhaps where I'm coming from is to establish where can we and how can we complement your services as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a very good question. Because you're asking at the end of the line, what thing?
Yeah.
You get it? And it's a rare question most organizations ask themselves. You've done for us, you're looking at our essential KPIs.
Yes.
But then what then?
What then thereafter?
What then thereafter? Because you've changed someone the way they view things. They've now positive mindset.
Yes.
They've acquired a new skill.
Yeah.
What then now?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's when life coaching comes into play. Where someone now has a new mindset, they've got a new stream of income to generate income, but they now need to know how to manage those funds.
Okay.
Because you're talking of a person that never used to get $1, now they're getting $10 in their wallet.
Yeah.
So they now need to manage how they handle that $10. So that's why there should be like a synergy where we move from that and we extend it to life coaching. Teaching people that financial literacy, that etiquette, and yes, I think we should definitely make an extension of it because we've never looked at it further than that. Okay, fine, we're just looking at the social impact. If one is able to take care of their family and they're able to make a positive impact in their communities, then what then? That life coaching is really relevant.
Oh yes. So we can easily complement each other in terms of how we can have impact, influence to our public.
Definitely.
On our community as well.
Definitely.
Okay. And on another note, when you talk about mindset, that's to me is quite a key area. Yes. Not only for the marginalized. You may now have an opportunity to share some tips to say, how can we continue to develop and grow our mindset?
Yes. When you talk about mindset, we cannot overlook the issue of mental health.
Okay.
Mental health has become a prime topic in our day-to-day life.
Okay.
There's so much going on. There's so much pressure. With so much things that we can or we cannot deal with. And people overlook mental health because there's no way you can take my brain and put it out there and figure out how the sequence is going, whether it's in order or if it's not in order. So mental health, I'll stop talking at it as mindset, but I'll rather focus it on as mental health. It's really important to look at your mental health and prioritize it. To constantly stop and ask yourself, am I okay? Is everything okay with me? If I'm unsettled, it's okay to just stop, breathe. If I'm doing something, it's okay to stop and look and say, okay, Chipo, you are here today. Where are you next week? Where are you end of year? And in end of year, I'm looking at myself. If I haven't reached 10 out of 10, if I've scored 2 out of 10, it's okay. At least I tried. That's what's important. I'm supposed to cut myself a slack and tell myself, it's okay, Chipo, you did 2 out of 10. Let's move the other 8. Yes. So it's important to forgive yourself. We always talk about forgiving yourself. It's okay to be ambitious, but if you can't reach your target in a set of time, it's okay. Forgive yourself, move forward, life goes on.
Oh,
Don't take it up as a weakness, but take it up as a learning curve.
Okay.
I like the story of the founder of 7-Up. You know why they call it 7-Up?
Oh, that's interesting.
The recipe failed so many times. He got it on the 7th time. So that's why his drink is called 7-Up.
Okay.
He got it on the 7th time. And he embraced it, and he named the beverage 7-Up. And do you know how much people have a liking towards 7-Up? And you don't know we're celebrating someone that has failed 6 times and passed on the 7th time. So that's how you look at it. Whenever you come across challenges, don't look at yourself as, oh, I failed. Just look at it, oh yeah, I just learned. Someone then said, you know what, if you don't accomplish what you want, like say if you get in a deal, a $1,000 deal, and then you get duped, it's okay. Just take it as a $1,000 lesson.
Yeah.
Instead of, having your whole life crashing over because you failed to go through a deal at 1,000. So whatever you go through in life, always take it as a learning curve and don't beat yourself so hard on it. So that's all about positive mindset.
More so when you look at the current environment in
Yes,
Zimbabwe.
it doesn't make it any easier. Yes, so it needs the tough cookies out there.
Oh yeah. Are you saying we have graduates out of your services that can handle and manage this and survive in this environment?
Yes, I'm also a graduate. Or funny enough, I have an accounting degree, but what I'm totally doing now is a total different direction from my degree. And I could be so stuck up on the fact that initially my plan was to become a chartered accountant.
Okay.
Right. So after working 2-3 years, I then realized, okay, this is not what I want. This is too stressing. I'm not cut out for this.
Okay.
So I had an option of just pursuing to be a chartered accountant on that route at the cost of my happiness, or just drop it and everyone thinks, okay, you just ended up just being a normal accountant without practicing and just... So we have people, degrees out there, people with degrees. I think that's why people are getting sick in our age group or generation. They're having early deaths, not because their time is up, but because they are stressed and they haven't foreseen. University school doesn't prepare you for what if it doesn't happen. It always tells us you're going to finish your degree, you're going to get a good job, you're going to get a good wife or good husband, life goes well. It doesn't tell you you're going to finish your degree, you're going to spend 5 years at home, you might not be married, you might be 40 and poor. You get it? So it needs now a person that tells himself, you know what, even if it doesn't come, if lemons come my way, I'm just going to make lemonade. If I don't like lemonade, I'm just going to make black tea with lemon juice. So that's the type of thinking we need as people in our generation.
So what you're saying is, yes, we hold the degrees, we hold the diplomas, we have qualifications, right?
Yes.
But there's something that innovation, that creativity, that mindset to survive in this environment.
We are not taught that at university.
Oh yeah.
No one teaches you that. Even our parents, unfortunately, they don't teach us creativity. But that creativity actually begins at a toddler level. What we call in Shona mahumbwe. That mad mahumbwe is necessary for a child to pick an empty peanut butter bottle, to make cake out of it, to make dough out of it. It's important. It creates creativity to make something out of nothing. So it's important that we go through those stages and help our kids to see things in a different way.
So the marginalized can equally be any other person.
Yes, the marginalized can be even me sitting here. I can just be marginalized and not know that I'm a marginalized. I'm falling in that same group. That I am suffering, but I don't know that I'm suffering. That I've got a low self-esteem and I don't even know about it. That I need a validation from people and I don't even know about it. But the moment it's put up on your face, you start to realize I need help.
So we could need such services across the board. Yes, they're marginalized. They are the marginalized from the background, but there are also some marginalized in the sense of having limitations.
Yes,
giving oneself some barriers to think, to be creative.
Stronghold limitations.
Something like that.
That's a stronghold limitation.
So with that, Chipo, the way forward, you have already defined it. And what do you do with them? What do you do with these or those that graduate from you? And we have seen how we can complement each other, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any other comment that you may want to give to your audience today?
Yes. Last month,
Yeah.
every month as Mambakwedza, we have a challenge. So last month we had a challenge where we asked our audience to write a letter to themselves.
Okay.
So in this letter, you're asking yourself, who am I?
Okay.
Who's Chipo? What does she like doing? What makes her sad?
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh, powerful.
How are you going to get there?
Okay.
Okay. And then where are you now? Are you happy with where you are?
Oh, that's powerful.
Is where you are now where you saw yourself 5 years back? And if you could go back, what would you change then so that it changes today?
Okay.
Those are conversations that people really have with themselves.
Oh, yeah.
But once you start doing that exercise, you then realize, you know what, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what makes me happy. Half the time you might be blaming your spouse that they're not making you happy, and yet it's you who has the problem. You don't even know you don't even have a hobby. You don't even know where 5 years from now you are. And even the economy, you might blame yourself. We might say people in your age group.
Yeah.
Some of the people in your age group are still where you left them.
Okay.
And they still blame the economy. But they are the other Alex Marufus of this world. But you're here. You get it. So you need to embrace what you can't change. And then you find a way around it.
Okay.
You get it. In Japanese, they call it your ikigai.
Okay.
What's your ikigai? Make use of what you don't have to have what you want to have.
No, I am really interested in what you're talking about. In fact, it touches now across the board. Majority can easily be marginalized.
Yes.
Majority will definitely need that kind of mindset shift, right? That positive approach. But then they need these skills. They need to be aware of themselves. Personal identity related issues. So with that, we really need to complete each other in the process.
Yes, that's very
as
true.
Organizations.
That's very true.
Now we are talking of the Mambakwedza as an organization, our coaching services as an organization. We could strike a balance and still be better and have an impact on our.
That's true. Lasting impact
on our community. So we really want to appreciate what you have done and the time that you have invested into the whole thing. And we look forward to work together and achieve more.
Thank you very much, Mr.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marufu. Thank you.